Hey, so I had a kind of exciting weekend this weekend, a little bit. So I went down to New York to see my parents and also my cousin and my aunt who came over from England and were visiting for a bit. And we went shopping and we had a good time and stuff, but my head was kind of itching. And I was like, huh, well, that's kind of weird because normally shampoo doesn't affect me that way. Anyway, right before I left, I was like, hey mom, can you just check my hair for me and make sure I don't have lice? I'm sure I don't, but can you just, double check? And she goes, all right. And, she was like, well, you shouldn't be so sure you don't have lice because you have lice. And I was like, oh, no way, I don't believe you. And so she pulls out one of the hairs on my head that has one of the little lice eggs on it, and she shows it to me, and I had lice. Which is disgusting. Oh, and by the way, so if you thought that I looked cute in my last episode, which some people emailed me and told me they did, my hair was disgusting and filled with little tiny crawling insects. Just so you know. So anyway, and then I come back up to Boston, and I get back to my apartment, which is apparently a louse-filled apartment. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to get them out of my hair and out of my bed, first of all. And, the rest of the stuff can wait a little while. But I have to do this first. So I run out to Target, and I decide to just pick up, a new set of sheets. Because I needed some anyway, and I didn't have enough time to do a laundry cycle and do my hair before I wanted to go to bed. So I pick up some, some new sheets. I get some, a crappy little comforter and a new pillow and a new pillowcase. And I'm looking through all the stuff, and I also see that they have this bed protectant. And I think, well, it'd be good to have a bed protectant because then if I get another case of lice, at least my mattress would be protected. And so I get that too, and I'm checking out, and, I have this teenage kid is, checking me out, and, or checking my stuff out, not me out, But, anyway, and, after he goes through it all, I realize, I look at the bed protectant and it says vinyl bed cover, because accidents happen. And I'm like, oh my god, this kid probably thought I was totally incontinent and had this bedwetting problem or something, because who else comes by at 10 o'clock at night needing new sheets, and a bed protectant, right? And so that was pretty embarrassing, even more embarrassing than having lice, but whatever, I shrugged it off, and I went home and I put the rid or whatever it was on my hair. That was the first thing I did because I wanted to get them the fuck out of my hair. And I realized that I don't actually have any towels to dry off with because all my towels are louse filled. And so, but the thing is I have to wash it off in 10 minutes because it's this poisonous stuff and I don't want to get, brain cancer or something from the chemicals. And so I'm just, searching through my entire apartment looking for something that I could possibly dry off with. And the only piece of fabric I can find, which I'm comfortable, drying myself on, is this old futon cover that I have. It is the only thing I'm convinced does not have lice because I hadn't touched it in months. And so I'm like, well, better this than nothing. So I take it out and I leave it in the living room because my bathroom's kind of small and I didn't want to risk spilling shit on it. And so I leave it out in the living room. I go wash the stuff off. And so then I come out and I'm standing in my living room trying to dry myself off on this old futon cover. And it's totally not working because I guess they sort of waterproof futon covers a little bit in case you spill something on it. And anyway, at this point I realized that my blinds are open and I'm trying to dry myself on this futon cover and it's not working at all. I'm like, oh god. And so I just run to the kitchen and I see some paper towels. I'm like, well, this is about as good as anything I'm gonna get. So I go through half a roll of paper towels, drying myself off. But then I finally get dry, and then I go back to the bathroom and delouse my hair for a bit and all that stuff. But then after I've deloused it, I have to rinse it off again in the shower just to make sure that all the gross crap the eggs and stuff come out. That's disgusting. But anyway, so I'm in the shower getting all the stuff out, and I look down and I'm like, oh my god, can the lice jump hemispheres, if you get what I mean? And so I'm totally freaking out about this in the shower. I'm like, you know what? There's really only one way to be safe. Now, my normal philosophy on sort of maintenance in this area is that if you want to have sex with a 12-year-old girl, you should go have sex with a 12-year-old girl. And if you want to have sex with a 23-year-old girl, you know, she should look like a 23-year-old girl. And any additional maintenance that this area might need can be covered with, like, you know, waxing or what have you. But these are not normal times. These are desperate times. And so I'm like, oh, well, whatever. I'm just going to get this off. And so, you know, I get out my razor and I just shave basically everywhere that wouldn't make me look like freakish. But, you know, these are not the best conditions either, because I'm totally jittery and, you know, squeamish about the whole lice thing. And, well, you know, I'm not going to go into too many details in this area, but let me just say it was a rough shaving job. Anyway, but, after that, I get out of the shower, and, you know, I still have no idea where these lice have come from or whatever, and so I'm thinking about it, and I think, well, you know, most likely candidate is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because, you know, except for when I'm fighting people, I don't really touch people at all anymore, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but, you know, basically true. And so I'm like, okay, well, I call up one of the guys from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I say, oh, hey, Mike, you haven't noticed there being, like, a lice problem at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, have you? And he says, no. Although now you asked, I'm going to get my, like, wife to check me for lice or whatever. And I was like, okay. And I thought about it. I was like, well, it's kind of unlikely, because all of the guys at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu have, like, really short or, like, buzzed hair. And so I was like, well, it was probably not from there. And they, you know, they bleach the mats and stuff every night. And so I was still kind of, like, wondering about it. And I thought back to, like, the guys that I work with, and, you know, some of them have kids. And I'm like, oh, kids, you know, they get lice. And, you know, one of them had, like, a 2-year-old, and that was too young. And then another of them had, like, a college-age kid and a high school kid, and that seemed too old. But one of them had, like, I don't know, like, like 9 or 10 maybe, and this is my boss. And he also has long hair. And I'm like, oh, it was totally him, you know. And I was going to call him up and be like, oh, my God, you know, your disgusting, disease-bearing offspring has given me lice, and you should do something about it and get rid of them or whatever. And I was like, wait a minute, before I call my boss and accuse his son of, like, spreading the plague or whatever, I'm gonna just clean up my apartment for a bit. And as I was cleaning up my apartment, amid my hair supplies, I find this alien hair supply, and it was just like, it was this kind of beautiful moment of, you know, clarity and you know, this beauty, I guess. I was like, oh, you know, I get it now. And so the thing is, what had happened with the hair scrunchie was that one day I was going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I didn't have a hair tie, and so I was gonna go get, like, a rubber band from the office supply cabinet, and I run into one of the guys, and he says, oh, you know, actually, I found a hair scrunchie out front. Maybe you kind of want it. And I was like, well, yeah, sure. And he's like, yeah, I just found it on the side over here. And so I look at it and I think, well, maybe, you know, there's something on it. But I was like, you know what? Like, everyone here is an adult. Like, seriously, what are the chances that some woman at my company has lice and lost a hair thing and then put it to the side or something? And I was like, you know what? I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, but I was so wrong. It's, like, not even funny. Yeah. I guess, I guess it's better now, except it's actually not, because I'm about to go spend, like, the next, like, you know, 2 hours or something with my head coated in mayonnaise and saran wrap. I was going to do it for the video, but I decided against it. But anyway, apparently mayonnaise, like, suffocates the lice, so I'm going to, like, suffocate them in case anything is hatched in my hair that I missed. Yeah, and that is totally gross, but whatever. I have some business to attend to. Bye.